For the first time in this 2020 USL Championship season, we come to you from Miami, Florida and Ricardo Silva Stadium. It's the Miami FC and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tonight's game brought to you by Helbiz Unlimited Rides for $29.99. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Very much looking forward to this Sunshine State showdown between Miami and Tampa Bay. Both these teams in Group H. Tampa Bay, they're at the top. Miami, they're at the bottom.
They're setting the pace for everybody else to follow, Josh. And my concern for the Miami FC isn't necessarily that they haven't gotten on track yet. It's that their performance overall hasn't been the best. Good news, they've got a bunch of games in hand, but they are fastly approaching the point of no return. This could be a vital 3 points tonight.
And looking at this Miami team, a lot of USL experience.
Starting from the back, moving all the way front, Vincent Bezecourt, Romario Williams seems like he scores every single time he steps on the field, whether it was with the Charleston Battery or Atlanta United 2, even Brenton Griffiths on the back line. But when you look at game changers within this entire system for Nelson Vargas, my eyes immediately gravitate towards Sebastian Velasquez on the right wing. That's where they're going to use him. But more importantly, he's versatile. You can drop him down into the midfield. They've done it already. They can push him up top. They can play off him on any point in the pitch because bottom line, he gets things done.
Tonight's player to watch is brought to you by Unanimo Deportes, El Poder del Deporte y la Cultura Latina. And on the other side for Tampa Bay, they've started this season much like last season. They don't have a loss.
Easy. Keep those expectations at bay because if you remember, in 2019, started 13 games unbeaten. How did that finish? Well, they couldn't finish enough goals down the stretch. They didn't garner enough points. They finished outside the top 4. Neil Collins recognizes this. He understands they got to find a way to get 3 points much more regularly.
It's time to get ahead of the curve with Devin Kerr. What do we got tonight, Devin?
School's in session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go with Neil Collins on this one and talk about what he wants this team to look like. Okay, love the jerseys, love the formation, love the playing style, but what exactly is it? A lot of touches on the ball, but they want to be able to stretch the field. More importantly, he wants quality decision making, and even better, he wants patience. Watch them go side to side. They go vertical, but the end of this is the most important thing. They get all their playmakers involved. You look at guys like Guenzati, Leo Fernandez, and their fox in the box. Juan Tejada stretches the back line. Now watch this beautiful run down into the byline, cuts the ball into Guenzati. That's exactly how you want to finish. Doesn't manage about the buildup. It's all about the finish. Class dismissed.
Well, tonight, these two teams, they will go at it for the first time in the USL Championship in 2020. It's a budding rivalry. Lineups and first kick coming up next.
Hey guys, this is Nelson Vargas, your Miami FC head coach. I want to invite all the youth players in Miami to join our academy, to come out and have the opportunity in the future to possibly train with the first team and more importantly be coached by some of us first team coaches and some of us players. Miami FC is the only professional team in town that offers you the opportunity to be connected to a professional organization and offers you the best value in town.
We've got myself, Spenner, and we've got Anthony, technical directors, so we'll be bringing what we do at first team level into the academy, from the actual training sessions to the way we build it, coach education, and the whole lot. You know, we'll be adding a bit of structure to that, and we want everything to be seen that what we do in the first team goes all the way through.
So remember, to register, you can go to miamifc.com. Go ahead, register, and we'll contact you with future dates. We wish everyone health and safety, and more importantly, we hope to see you out there in the field very soon. Take care, and from Miami FC, vamos Miami.
Getting ready for first kick tonight from Ricardo Silva Stadium here in Miami. Miami FC and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Looking forward to this one tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Brought to you by Hellbiz Unlimited Rides for $29.99. We start with the Miami FC.
Home squad gets the nod, and why not? Nelson Vargas, he said he's been happy with his performances, but he does make 4 changes. Most notably, Mark Paes comes onto the back line and helps in goal and, you know, see if they can really steady what has been a shaky start, to be honest. Othello Oba goes to left back. I like that move. I think he's got quality pace, good decision-making. Brian James going to step into the midfield next to Granito and Harrison Heath, who was pretty fantastic, to be honest, in their game against Atlanta United 2. Bezecourt up top will pull the strings in the 9 position. Neil Collins, he'll make a change in the 9, wearing the 9. It will be Kyle Murphy who gets the nod in front of Guenzati instead of Juan Tejada. They have picked up Adam Najim. He is fit for selection. He, however, is not going to be available this evening. Jordan Doherty and Lewis Hilton will take charge there in front of Dom Oduro. The back line, for me, might be 3 of the best in the league, especially the way that they're playing right now, and Aaron Guillen, Jordan Scarlett, and Forrest Lasso.
We are just about set for first kick. Tampa Bay in those bright green jerseys. It is Miami in those bright blue jerseys. The Sunshine State Showdown is underway tonight from Ricardo Silva Stadium. Of course, as we featured in the pregame, it is Tampa Bay at the top of this Group H, and it is Miami at the bottom, still looking for their first points of their inaugural campaign here in the 2020 USL Championship. Last time out for Tampa Bay, a 2-0 win over Charleston. For Miami, a 4-3 loss at Atlanta United 2. That was quite a goal fest at that one. 4-3 was the final score, but tonight Miami looking to get a point for the first time this season, whether that's 3, whether that's 1. I'm sure they'll just take anything at this point.
Thing to keep an eye on for the Miami FC is that, no, it hasn't been the results of the way they wanted. 2 losses to start. Of course, the first one, the 4-1, all the way back on March 7th against St. Louis FC, and then most notably July 29th against Atlanta United 2. Both games, though, Josh, they weren't out of. You know, 2-1 right around halftime for the St. Louis game. You could basically see the quality response where they go out in front against Atlanta United 2. They learned from their mistakes. The problem was is they didn't put the game away. Provided themselves some quality chances. Just wasn't clinical enough in the final third.
Long ball over the top, Pace way off his line. He has to intervene to head it away. And Tampa Bay wins it right back in the midfield. As they look to build an attack early going here tonight. Of course, no fans in the stands here at Ricardo Silva Stadium. First home game of the year for Miami FC.
Adam Smith at Fresno FC prior to their departure always talked about Mark Paes and his ability to play to the back, recognize dangerous situations. It's a quality start. The goalkeeper making his first appearance on the year. An area that has really been a cause for concern for Nelson Vargas, considering Brian Silvestre has, of course, given up 7, math's off. No, 8's right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 4 and 4.
Okay.
Well, you and I both know that numbers are not the strong game.
That is true. Silvestre coming over from Ford Madison in League One from last year. Knocked out of play. It will be a throw in here for Tampa Bay. Looks like Jordan Scarlett will throw this back in for Tampa. Last 3 years with New York Red Bulls 2. Staple of that back line. And 29 appearances in 2019 for John Wolniak. Tampa trying to play the possession game early. These 3 center backs, or 3 new center backs for Neil Collins and Tampa Bay. As they win it back in the midfield. Murphy just outside the area goes down, and the referee Elvis Osmanovic says he got all ball. Seems like with this Tampa Bay team, the core is still there, but they have gone out and got some good pieces maybe to help that core flourish here in 2020.
Striker Kyle Murphy's one of them. He's already trying to have a positive impact on the game. And he was someone, to be honest, Josh, that I've been keeping an eye on for quite some time. Don't think he got enough reps with his time at RGV in 2016 and 2017. Sort of fell out of favor under Darren Powell in San Antonio. And then, you know, going tit for tat with some of the youngsters at Loudoun. Now an opportunity to get a resurgence in his career.
Long cross into the area, headed away by Lasso.
This is the type of system to do it as well. They like to get out in front, go with pace, use the vertical route if need be. He can do both. He's technical as well. He can play in crowds, so fits right into what Neil Collins is trying to do here.
Tonight it is Murphy starting up top. Juan Tejada slots in on the bench tonight. Ba. Keep this alive. Gonzalez. There's Heath right in the middle. Seba. Good spell of possession here early on for Miami.
There's the inversion of Sebastian Velasquez. Keep an eye on that. They will push the outside backs high. Marco Franco, and the relationship on the right has been nice so far. But then the center backs get caught and they open up a lot of space in the middle. That's where Tampa can look to capitalize, and the Rowdies know exactly how to.
This be kept in, it will. An opportunity here for Dalgard. We talked with Nelson Vargas this week. He said about that Atlanta game, he was happy tactically, but just a couple of mental lapses led to those 4 goals. And for Nelson Vargas, he's been on both sides of this rivalry back in MLS in the early days with the Mutiny and the Fusion. And now he gets to enjoy it on the bench for Miami FC as their head man. Pretty cool thing there for Nelson Vargas. Tampa win it back high up the field. Murphy will lay this off. Crucial touch to push that onto the path of Doherty.
They've already been pretty calculated with their intermittent press so far, Tampa Bay Rowdies. Just really have to keep a keen eye for one of the outside backs for Miami FC on where the coverage is coming from, with Othello Ba on the left, Marco Franco on the right. Some quality thought process in the terms of trying to push him up high, overload the middle, the shape that they're trying to take, but again, have to make sure that there's help for Griffiths and Rosemond on the back line.
He's caught in the corner. Now Ba. Once again knocked out for another throw-in, this time to Miami. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Atlantic Rehab Center, the leader in sports medicine. Visit one of their facilities in Dade or Broward County. Call 305-405-0400 to make an appointment or visit atlanticrehabcenter.com.
With all due respect to Sebastian Dalgard on the right side, that's got to be the key point for the Rowdies tonight. Mustafa Dembuya coming over from Phoenix Rising, really doing well for himself so far on both sides of the ball. Out once again. Weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it or not. Said it was a game time decision. Doesn't even make it into the 18. It's been a nice counterbalance to Leo Fernandez. They really lacked that last year. Strong on the left, but the right just didn't have the same look.
As Loro comes out to make that catch on the header from Jordan Scarlett. Both those players very comfortable with each other, playing together with New York Red Bulls too the past couple of seasons. Lasso looking for that long diagonal ball. Dalgard brings it down. Doherty back for Dalgard. Here's Dalgard. Just loses possession outside the area, but Tampa Bay able to keep it. Here's Oduro.
Here's the patience, Josh. There's 10 minutes into a match, already feeling themselves. Look at all the rotation by players. Saw they wouldn't force it a second ago. Everybody willing to rotate in one area, and if it's not there, they just pull it back. Jordan Scarlett stepping up, helping out the transitional play. Quick little peek up over the top. Can't play the ball, that's fine. Find Dom Oduro. Look for Jordan Doherty. Go all the way across the field to Leo Fernandez. Everything clicking already for the visitors.
I feel like this is a really good test for Miami FC. So take a look at Neil Collins, and the coach in May of 2018, and trying to take this team deep into the playoffs this season and stay out of potentially second place here in this group. And they probably don't want to have to face Birmingham in the first round of the playoffs if they can avoid it, as this ball is played through. Coming back, the shot on target. It's right at Evan Loro. It was Bezecourt getting his right foot around it.
Much better buildup of what you're looking out of for the Miami FC. Quick in transition. Notice the hold-up play. Lovely overlapping run. Bezecourt had dropped down in to help out, and then just allows that space to open up for him right at the top of the 18. The line of confrontation right now, pretty interesting for Miami. Seba and Bezecourt alongside Miguel Gonzalez, pretty much pushing 3 in terms of pressure. And they've spread the midfield out to go flat a little bit. I like the look so far. It's proving a bit problematic for at least the central midfielders of the Rowdies to get involved a bit more than they'd like. It's challenging that movement.
We're kind of talking about the shape. Bezecourt maybe not a true number 9 up top, so interesting to see his movement early on.
We did see that out of Miami FC against Atlanta United too. They actually brought Sebastian Velasquez up top after one of their substitutions, rotated him in, and it gives you a different look, right? You don't have an out-and-out striker, but at the same point in time, you do give the luxury of multiple players to challenge that central part of the field. So if you're working in transition, you get an overlap in one area, feel free to step in. I'll just provide the coverage over here.
There's 3 different goal scorers of the 3 goals against Atlanta. It was Seba. Mo Chow is on the bench, along with Romario Williams, who is also on the bench tonight. Murphy, good ball whipped in, pace off his line, able to squeeze it with 2 hands. Down the line, Bezecourt into the corner. Defended there by Lasso. Miami keep it alive with Seba. James. Heath. Using the overlapping run. This will be deflected out for the first corner kick of the night for Miami. Corner kicks presented by Demi Pais. Visit www.demipais.com. Demi Pais, lo nuestro, nuestro sabor. Will be an in-swinger from that far side. Coming right in. It was missed by Loro. Did it take a touch off anybody else? It looks like it'll be another corner here for Miami. Looks like Heath coming over to take this, or at least set it down. Velasquez will swing it in. Play this one short. Back for Velasquez. Then he'll whip it in. Deflects out for a third Miami corner. Can they make this one pay off?
Constant heavy pressure here out of the restarts from the corner. Josh, time to give a different look. Two men came down in the corner. A lot of space right at the top of the 18. And also they haven't really challenged with any of the big bodies to the near post so far. Maybe a little flick, secondary runner.
Osmanovic telling everybody just to calm down in the box before this corner. It will be Heath to swing this in towards the top of the 6. It was Lasso who got his head to it. Another effort coming on. Oh, it wasn't too far away. It was ambitious there by Othello Ba, but out for a goal kick.
He can hit him if need be. Only a few years into his professional career, Liberian. Tennessee Wesleyan product. Oof, not too far off. Calibrating off that left foot of his.
Here comes Miami again. Ball played through. Bezecourt trying to cross it. Took a deflection, and it's out for another corner kick. Now the 4th for Miami. Tampa having to do a lot of defending here on set pieces from corner kicks. Looks like it's Heath to stand over this again. He'll swing it in once again towards that near post area. Hilton tried to clear it. Now it's Velasquez on the ball again. Stop and start for Miami's number 10, and it's off Seba. A throw-in for Tampa. Speaking of stop and start, that's how this season has been for Miami. Of course, they played their first game against St. Louis all the way back in March. There was, it looks like a player down for Tampa Bay. It is Fernandez who is down on the turf.
Not good. Not a good look for Neil Collins, especially when it's behind the play. Working on that right leg of his, not feeling good, not happy. You would hate to see anything wrong ever with Leo Fernandez, yet alone the fact that it's just 17 minutes into the match. Options for sure, but with the impact that he's had on this squad, as well as what Neil Collins asks of him on a regular basis, top 3 that you would definitely not want to see sidelined.
Started all 5 games, this being his 6th. 29 appearances in his 4th season with Tampa Bay. Was 29 appearances last year. It looks like a sub is readying for Tampa Bay. Fernandez back on his feet. I think his night is complete here, just about 17 minutes in. And it will be Lakowecki who is warming up. His training kit off. Looks like he's ready to come on.
You feel for him, right? And you never want to see a player injured, but the fact that it's behind the play, non-contact, not a good look for Leo Fernandez. Hoping that that can be a speedy recovery. Just by the body language, you know that something's up with him.
Such an experienced player here with Tampa Bay. So it will be Max Lakowecki to come on. He didn't play in 2019, but 2018 with Tampa Bay made 16 appearances. He's only come off the bench 4 times here in 2020. Comes off the bench for a 5th time here tonight. Ball gets rolling again. For Miami, just 2 games played, all the way back in March against St. Louis, a tough loss on the road. And of course, that game against Atlanta United too. Nelson Vargas say it's really hard to get in any sort of rhythm right now, and it's just kind of how the schedule has been drawn for them. But a bit unfortunate just to have only played 2 games. So if you're just watching the rest of the league rack up 5 or 6 games already.
Leo Fernandez in number 16, Max Lakovic.
Lakovic can get it done. He's very different from Leo Fernandez, but he is capable. Part of that record-setting team, record at that point in time for Real Monarchs in 2017 under the guidance of Mark Breaks. Regular season champions in the Western Conference that would then bow out in the first round to Sacramento Republic. Took a little hiatus. But it shows the trust that his manager has for him, that he's more than willing to just pull the trigger right on it. You know, 17 minutes into a match, say, okay, I need you, and I need you now. And the balance that we talked about for Fernandez on the left, Mbuya. First Mbuya exits, now the departure of Leo Fernandez. So you're looking at basically 2 backups out on the wings for the Tampa Bay Rowdies tonight. Lakowiecki as the substitute and Dalgard as the starter. Puts a bit more pressure on the rest of the attacking crew. Doherty and Hilton trying to find a way to get Gonzatti and Murphy involved.
I've seen Murphy just in the opening minutes, a few good runs, a few opportunities around the box. No shots per se, but growing into the game is Kyle Murphy. What do you make of this back line for Tampa Bay? Obviously 3 new players there, including goalkeeper. Sometimes it takes a little bit for this team to gel, but another clean sheet last time out against Charleston. Save that for a moment. Cross coming in. Scarlett will track this down and clear.
I enjoyed all of them as individuals and at their former clubs. The biggest transition for them is going to be into the system. Of course, Lasso has some experience in it. Aaron Guillen, most recently under Dave Sarachan at North Carolina FC, they did not regularly play a 3 at the back. They were 100% a 4. And same thing for Jordan Scarlett in his time at Red Bull. Just got to find a way to make sure they're constantly challenging themselves from an IQ standpoint, always learning the game, what it's like. If you step here, where's the shift come from? And you have to trust it as well. All of them have excellent playing careers, both what they've done so far and what can lie in front of them. But in this system, you also have to rely a lot on the ones in front of you, and that's where the key question comes for me, at least this evening, for those 3. With your 2 starters in the wingback positions out, do you have full trust in Lakowiecki and Dalgard? You're going to find out in the next 5 or 10 minutes exactly how they feel, because knowing people's routines and the custom that they're used to playing with, you can shift a certain way, cheat that way. You don't have that luxury anymore. Now you have to rely on flat out the guy right next to you and whether or not you can win the foot race if push comes to shove.
It's Griffiths, the high boot. A free kick coming now for Tampa Bay after a quick talk with tonight's referee, Elvis Osmanovic. Midway through this first half. Still looking for that opening tally. Let's play this one into the box. Tampa able to regain possession through Lasso. Foul against Miami, and it'll be a set piece opportunity here for Tampa. Let this be an opportunity to send some big bodies forward. It looks like that's what they're doing.
It's Forrest Lasso, they're going to let him go. Wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Guillen gets the call up as well. Look at all the height they have the luxury of going after here.
Lewis Hilton, former St. Louis man. Also trying to head that back into the middle. Still Hilton in towards the corner. He goes to ground. It's another Tampa Bay throw-in.
Nice to meet you. Might as well introduce yourself. Again, this is the first time these two are playing in the USL Championship. Foes from previous years, and it's starting to heat up down in the corner, isn't it?
So we'll go out for another throw-in for Tampa Bay. And sometimes without fans in the stands, that kind of maybe tempers down the rivalry a little bit, but it's still Tampa Bay versus Miami. The proximity is there. It has all the makings for a fun rivalry. We're showing a few minutes going back to their NASL days, but this has the makings for a good rivalry here in the championship.
Just a quick trip down. Well, depending if you're starting in St. Petersburg, right? A little trip down 75. Jump on the turnpike, bring yourself south. Made that trip quite a few times.
Alligator Alley is always fun.
The good news for the Rowdies, they don't have to deal with Alligator Alley. You don't have to come all the way back east, so you can catch that little slant, jump on, and you're good to go.
Taken away, now an opportunity for the Rowdies to look forward. A lot of room to work. Guillen, the center back, and it looks like he's in no man's land there. The defender coming all the way forward. Now it's Dahlgaard. Do you ever have that feeling as a center back? You bring it into the midfield and you're like, where am I?
The confidence was never lacking for me, fortunately. I started off as a central midfielder playing as an 8. Moved my way outside on the wing, and then slowly moved myself back as I quite rapidly realized that I wasn't necessarily going to be the goal scorer, nor was I going to be able to play as the attacking midfielder. Some growth spurts and, to be fair, overall vision.
Sure.
Scored quite a few goals, fortunately enough. They always make fun of you, though.
Well, Guillen there, he was looking around like, where am I? Where are my teammates? What am I doing?
My first trial overseas with Alton Nanandraisic before I got signed. Ball got whipped in. We were cruising. We were up 5-0, 5-1, something like that. It was all trialists. There were 3 players from the previous year to kind of usher us in the right direction. 5 minutes left in the game. Got whipped in a corner. Secondary flick. And as the ball came all the way to the back post, I had actually run a back post stunt. They were supposed to flick off the near. Guy mishit it. There is a flick from their player. Falls right to my right foot. I'm left-footed.
Oh, no.
Little half volley. Skied it. I quite rapidly was told in German to basically politely get myself back to the back line and just stay there for the rest of the game. So still managed to score a few. Not in that fashion, though.
That's okay.
Yeah. You know your place, and you learn it pretty quick.
Another long ball over the top looking for Murphy. Griffiths clears it away. Now Heath in the middle.
Their defensive shape has been fantastic after the opening 5 minutes for the Miami FC. Love what I've seen out of pretty much every player on the pitch. Now just can they find it going forward, open up these spots and go after it.
Here's Franco. Sending it all the way towards the back post. Besacourt! Not too far away, but over the arm there and over the bar. Out for a goal kick.
Just notice what they do, Josh. That's your right back all the way down in the corner. Dissecting ball by Brian James. Seba tucks himself in. Besacourt had dropped in as well, and he's the late addition to the party on the back post. You have to track with this back 3 with communication. Keep an eye on all the runners. Look at how flat they are up top right now. They spread themselves wide. They allow the central midfielders to get up in. They compress themselves defensively. And then what we were talking about before, they allow so many players to explode going the other way.
Now Murphy. Keep this in for Tampa Bay. Hilton now in the middle. Intent to knock this all the way back to Scarlett. Paso. Another long diagonal ball to this near side. Now along by Dalgard. Guenzati gets in the box. Guenzati all the way to the end line. Looked like it was opening up there. Doherty has this deflect out. It will be a corner kick for Tampa Bay.
Lance Roseboom gets bailed out here as he got turned around by the Uruguayan and Sebastian Guenzati. Should have let it go a bit earlier. And there is a conversation in the relationship between Doherty and Dalgard on that right side, struggling a little bit with the overlapping runs of Miami FC. Can't blame them. It's been pretty impressive so far from the home squad. Really starting to find their way within this match.
Lewis Hilton will stand over this corner kick, an outswinger. Towards that back post area, headed back towards goal, and then cleared away. As Bezecourt will come to claim it for Miami. Can he look upfield? Trying to go back over the top. Franco just head this away as Oduro lets this trickle out for a throw-in. It looks like we'll get to our first half hydration break just past the half-hour mark here from Ricardo Silva Stadium in Miami. Still nothing to split between these two sides. This hydration break is brought to you by Helbiz and your Miami FC mascot, Golazo. And there is Golazo riding his Helbiz scooter. The lovely mascot for the Miami FC.
One of my personal faves. Kudos to you wearing that in this Florida humidity.
Absolutely.
That is something special.
There is Golazo. And speaking of Golazos, we go back to a few years ago, 2016. How about these from the NASL days, Devin?
The artist formerly known as Jaime Chavez of Fresno and of now OKC Energy FC. Yeah, he did some pretty wondrous things for the Miami FC back in the day. 16 minutes in. What a goal this was. There were a couple crackers in this match. It would finish knotted up. But let's have a little bit more fun. Here's top 27th minute. Kwadwo Poku, by the way, playing for both of these squads. A couple players know exactly what I'm talking about. Watch this dig from distance. That's Juan Guerra. 67th minute, that would be the game tire. And they would finish at 2-2. These teams have definitely done some serious work in their previous matches. 4 all untold.
The only win, though, for Miami FC was in the Open Cup in 2017, a 2-0 win over Tampa Bay.
This is your Western Conference version of Phoenix, New Mexico. Neither one of them have ever won a game either. You say with me? Or Eastern Conference version, sorry.
Yeah. West, East,
I switched
4 + 4.
Numbers, yeah, again.
Numbers, directions.
Stick to the basics, Devin. Stick to the basics.
Speaking of Phoenix, New Mexico.
That'll be an interesting one tomorrow night.
10:30, ESPN Plus. See you there.
You are getting a good look, though, Josh, at exactly why everybody was high on the Miami FC. 33 minutes in. Have no problem saying this. Do not care what the repercussions are. If you took the best minutes we had seen out of the previous 2 matches, obviously starting in March, most recently against Atlanta United 2, you combined all of that, it wouldn't eclipse what you've seen on the pitch tonight so far from Miami. Much better from the home squad. Good rotation, efficient on the ball. You can see the ideas really starting to come to fruition. I think the defensive shape has been amazing. And they started slow, made the proper adjustments. I love how flat they've gone in the midfield and up top. There's a good look at it right there. They're making Doherty, Hilton, and Oduro come and get this ball and make them become the playmakers as opposed to the guys out wide and Guenzati and Kyle Murphy up top. Difficult for the Rowdies in transition right now.
In Miami, we talked with Coach Nelson Vargas this week, and he said it's just hard to replicate that rhythm, that tempo you want during training, saying we need more games under our belts. Well, the games are going to start coming a little bit quicker for Miami FC. Their next game will actually be next Sunday in Tampa Bay. So these teams will see each other pretty quickly. Squeezed in between those 2 games is a game for Tampa Bay against Atlanta United 2. Here's a look at Nelson Vargas, who's been on both sides of this rivalry, as we mentioned earlier, with the Fusion and the Mutiny. His first season here as head coach for Miami FC.
Josh, you'd rather be a coach with that many games in front of you and be able to go after this thing, or would you rather have points in the bag and have somebody else chase you?
I don't know, there's pros and cons to both. I feel like, though, I'd rather have played these games already because there's more pressure on you to get those results. Points are on the board already for those other teams. For Miami, they have to go get those points.
I share the same sentiments, and I think it rings even more true now because of the shortened season and the fact that you don't have the luxury of, 4 extra matches, come the end of the season. 34 matches, I could see the argument being a bit more lopsided if, you're sitting on 28, someone's on 31, maybe you've got 3 in the bag, but you're playing a lot better, and over the past 6-7 matches, you look better. This is basically coming off a second preseason. Much harder to get the results right away.
And there is something to be said about peaking at the right time. While it might be hard to get in the rhythm now, if you get in a rhythm at the end of the season, then are able to get one of those top 2 spots, get into the playoffs, and you might be looking pretty good. As Roseboom commits the foul there on Murphy. And the captain will go into the book, the first yellow card of the match.
It's got to be. Forces the referee's hand. Great turn here. Kyle Murphy, just a little flick. He's got the space out on the wing, space in behind. Lance Roseboom willing to step. Like the way that they're using him, though. Yeah, he ends up on the wrong side of this, but they're allowing him to step up into the middle and assume the distribution cap. Of course, central midfielder by trade, moving on to that back line. He's done well for himself. Just watch the positioning, though. He has got caught a few times. There was the turn down in the quarter by Guenzati, and just now against Kyle Murphy. Watch how that shift comes when he does step up into the middle, and also, can you capitalize on the space if you're a Rowdies player when it does open up?
Should mention all replays brought to you by Unanivo Deportes Radio, 990 AM, your home for the latest news in South Florida sports. Long ball over the top. Roseboom, Murphy go up for it, and Pace take this with just one hand. Here's Dahlgaard. Cutting in field. Big, heavy challenge there right at the top of the box, and down for another goal kick. So there's some blood there on Kyle Murphy's left elbow. An opportunity for Mark Pace. Gets the start tonight in favor of Brian Silvestre. Only played 2 games for Fresno in 2018. 44 career appearances in the USL Championship. St. Louis native finds him here in Miami.
Lest we forget that Greg Vanny did get his hands on him in Toronto for a little bit of time.
Maybe opening up here for Tampa Bay. Guenzati, and it's 1-0. Just like that for Tampa Bay. And they take the lead here in Miami.
The space has been there. You've seen it from Kyle Murphy. You've seen it from Guenzati. Both of them challenging Brenton Griffiths and Lance Roseboom when they start to widen the gap here a little bit. And just watch how this takes shape. You start to move out of the middle. Great step by their center back, and then you go. Watch the pace. This is where Roseboom has the 2v1. He gets there late. You cannot allow this much time. Franco knows it. He understands that he's got the weak side help. He allows it to progress, but Roseboom doesn't see it. That's where your central midfielder gets himself turned around, and it's easy enough for Guenzati to tuck it inside that back post.
The goal was scored in the 38th minute.
Tampa Bay, they can strike quick. 4th goal of the season for Guenzati. It's been a stellar start to the season for Tampa's number 13.
It's just a little bit of confusion there, Josh. Again, we said watch Lance Roseboom. Talented player for sure. But being accustomed to be in the midfield, your surroundings are a bit different. Some question marks been raised in the opening 35 minutes. Liked what I saw out of him moving from the back line, helping usher this attack forward. But Guenzati and Murphy had challenged him directly in 1v1 situations. Once again, gets himself into trouble. The trust we question on the defensive side for the Rowdies actually gets Miami FC in trouble here.
All of a sudden, it's 1-0 to the away side. We've been talking about how good of a start this had been for Miami, and all of a sudden now they're chasing a goal here at home.
That has sort of been the MO in their restart, as well as the game, to be fair, all the way back in March against St. Louis, the 4-1 loss. They make mistakes that are so unnecessary. That's a simple little comment of hold, stay, press. Should Marco Franco have done more? To be fair, I would have liked to have seen him challenge the play a bit further. He was behind a bit, but not enough that he needed to abandon it, and he basically just leaves Roseroom. So as much as I can criticize Roseroom, you have Franco, who has the ability to help there, but that's the 1-2 punch that isn't there anymore. You only make a few changes. One of them is in the likes of Lance Roseroom. Started last game in the midfield, moving the back line, get themselves into trouble.
If there's a silver lining, it's that just scored 3 goals the last time out against Atlanta United 2. No, this is not the same back line. You still think you might have a chance to be able to score some goals. What a through ball that is, but pace off his line.
You're also creating, Josh, without Mo Chow, without Romario Williams on the field. Quality depth here for Nelson Vargas. Not a lot of chances, but 2 good looks, most notably the Bezecourt strike.
It's Williams, who came off the bench and scored a late goal against Atlanta as well last time out. He has 2 goals already, the Jamaican. I have a feeling we might see him again here tonight. Lasso, he'll usher this out for a goal kick.
Don't want to let the tempo die here if you're Miami FC. You've gone down a goal, but there have been some solid play so far. Got to give yourself some momentum to build on once you step into the locker room. If you can grab a goal, great. Obviously, you don't want to concede, but more importantly, just stay on the front foot. They have had some quality defensive shape. Forget the questions on the back line right now. Gonzalez, Bezecourt, Seba up top have done well. Harrison Heath, Brian James, Granito have basically made the midfield 3 of the Rowdies null and void. It's that transition up over the top when they go quick. The space in behind opens up, then you get into trouble. Just put 1 foot in front of the other, trust each other, and find some common ground to get some positive play before you go into halftime.
Long switch of play. Granito down the line. Franco trying to cut it back for Seba. Good touch by Oduro. Heath wins it back, and he gets taken down. A free kick now for Miami. Harrison Heath, the son of Adrian Heath out of Minnesota United. Unfortunately, bowing out last night in the MLS's back tournament.
Living legend, Adrian Heath.
Tampa thought they were off to the races there with Jordan Scarlett. Elvis Osmanovic said, not so fast.
That's another chat for another time. How about the quick little step by Jordan Scarlett on Miguel Gonzalez on the far side? Feels a bit hard done by the challenge as there was contact, but he felt like he got most of the ball. There's a much better look. Break it down. Slow-mo. Can't blame him. It's the follow-through on the knee, and This is one they're always going to give the advantage to the attacker. I didn't write the rule book, Josh. I just got to follow it, you know?
You didn't?
Yeah, it's hard to believe IFAB hasn't consulted with me yet.
I'd like to see the Devin Kerr rule book, boy.
The 400-page manual is going to be burnt in half, ripped in pieces.
You get back to us on that.
I'll go the law of 10, we'll call it. I'll get back to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good. Another goal kick for Tampa Bay as we get into stoppage time here in this first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has added 4 extra minutes.
And it'll be 4 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time is presented by Miami FC Youth Academy. Want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register to the only academy in Miami connected to a local professional team. The player is down behind the play. Murphy was not really advancing the ball forward. It enables Elvis Osmanovic to blow it dead. Murphy's done a lot of hard work at the top of this formation tonight for the Rowdies. It was Franco who was down with 3 in blue. Scarlett. Doherty, lofted ball, headed back into the middle. Pace takes it. See if he decides to distribute quickly, and I think he decides against it.
Some fantastic movement by the Rowdies, though. Jordan Doherty had come out to the near touchline. Sebastian Dalgard, a bit late to react, but still makes the movement to the interior, and Guenzati goes out to the wing. Just constantly challenging what is this shape of the back four of Miami FC. Keep looking over your shoulder if you're Othello Ba.
Here is Ba. Long for Bezecourt. He's blocked by his former teammate, Jordan Scarlett. Now Roseboom collects past the midway point here of stoppage time, minimum of 4 minutes. Who has to be the happier of the two managers in this first half? We talked about the positivity for Miami, but Tampa have the goal.
You're kind of at a 50-50, to be honest. Miami FC, you've looked good, working back to front about 85% of the time. Nothing to show for it, but it's much better for the Rowdies. You've really lacked a presence out on the wings, but you've gotten some quality output out of your two up top. To be fair, I'd probably give the nod out of Miami FC only because I've seen the previous product, and this is much better.
Heath to the back post. Oh, it almost got over the head of Lasso, but he knocks it out for another corner kick. 30 seconds until those 4 minutes are up.
That's the key thing to think about here for both teams, Josh, is that Tampa Bay Rowdies, they're getting results, but they haven't looked fantastic doing so. So it's great that you're 3-0-2, unbeaten, if you will. But the overall product hasn't been at its best. Miami FC, best showing we've seen from them so far, still down 1-0.
Swung in towards the back post, headed away by Lasso again. The 4 minutes have expired, and we play on. The ball lifted forward. Gian knocks it away. Looks like a foul. This will be a throw-in or a free kick. Looks like it'll be the latter. They'll go quick. Here's Heath. Nearly 5 minutes of stoppage time. Maybe one more chance for Miami to look forward. Denied by Guillen. And there's the final whistle. The first half is complete from Ricardo Silva Stadium. And it's Tampa Bay who have a 1-0 advantage through that man right there. Sebastian Guenzani, the Uruguayan, getting on the score sheet for Tampa Bay. And we have reached halftime here in Miami. So Golazzo's been on his scooter. Miami's looked pretty good, but they do find them down 1-0. We head to halftime. Tampa Bay with the lead. It's the HellBiz halftime report coming up next.
Professional football is back in the 305. Back in the heart of Miami.
Let us tell you the story of the Real Miami.
Miami FC is more than just 90 minutes of football.
We are Football Fridays.
A festival of football. For all the family. A platform for artists, musicians, and creatives. We are proud of this great city.
Its loyalty,
its positivity,
and unity.
We are family.
The Academy is the club.
The club is our academy.
I walk these streets.
I wear these cleats.
We get to live your dreams.
And we represent you. Let us make you proud.
Your community.
Your club.
Les presentamos a Unánimo Deportes Radio, la nueva alternativa de la radio deportiva en los Estados Unidos. Un grupo selecto de profesionales con vasta experiencia y con el conocimiento de los deportes que a usted le interesa. Los invitamos a que vayan a escuchar Unánimo Deportes Radio en nuestras afiliadas y TuneIn. Somos Unánimo Deportes Radio. Unánimodeportes.com.
It's halftime from Ricardo Silva Stadium. Tonight's halftime is presented by HellBiz. Unlimited rides for $29.99. Plenty of action in the USL Championship in the midweek. For a recap of Wednesday's games, here's Devin.
Western Conference, night off. Eastern Conference, you're up. Show us what you're made of. Show us that high-quality play. The up-tempo from Red Bull, trying to play out of the back with a lot of pressure. Well, there's no pressure. There's a lot of options. Wall Slapsy, do not. Yeah, he gives it away. 19 seconds in, Patrick Bowie. Good for you, buddy. Nice to see you on the score sheet. Let's go the other way. Sharif J. Yep, he had these moves going under Ken Lola at Louisville. Yeah, let's transition that to the pro rake. Little start and stop, near post. Should do better from the goalkeeping. This is basically a multiple choice Scantron that nobody can circle the right bubble. A through E, boys. F is not an option. Philadelphia Union 2 get a goal late. They win 3-2. Let's turn the page. Let's go to Group H. Atlanta United 2, hosting Charleston Battery. Grab a pillow, grab a blanket, some melatonin, anything that'll help get you to bed, because this put me to bed. It was slow from start to finish. Atlanta United 2 get the opening goal. Charleston Battery would get a game-tying goal. A bit of controversy, though. Cicero from Q Daly in the 94th minute. Yeah, there was only 2 minutes of extra time. Go figure. About 1:37 after when this game was supposed to finish. Keep it going. Group G, Birmingham Legion, Charlotte Independence. Charlotte Independence, we have restarted play. Yes, COVID-19 is affecting everyone. However, you're allowed to start playing officially. Down 4-0. Nico Brett opens his campaign, gets 2 goals. What's up? I'm Bruno. Bruno Lapa once again. That's your Rookie of the Year right now. I still don't have a vote. I'm still arguing for him. One day, my man, we'll get you there. Group E might have been the game of the night. Back and forth from both of these teams. They beat Louisville City. They beat Indy 11. Wait a second. Both of that can lay claim on their resume. Great ball out of the back by Montpremier. How about Wilson Harris, the stud up top? Nice little step over. Great save by Burner, but how about the back post run by Musha Galusa to stick it in? Could have finished the game off to give them 2. Nope. Montpremier cannot. It's a glimmer. Yes, social media is a hot topic nowadays. Everybody's bought a burner account, except for St. Louis FC. They don't need a burner account. They've got John Burner, the goalkeeper, who gets his first start in 4 years, gets a little bit of a hockey assist. They'll take it any way they can get it. Samuel Kavita on the back line. Very well done. 1 point. Move on to the weekend.
Well, it was fun in the midweek. We hope it's going to be fun on the weekend. Halftime rolling on between Miami and Tampa Bay.
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. George Champus from Northwestern and U.S. Soccer's Chief Medical Officer joins me. Coach, try and describe, as soccer has returned around the country over the past month, the work that you and the doctors at U.S. Soccer and in association with the USL Championship, the work you've put in to make sure everybody remains safe for athletes, staff, referees, and in some cases, fans.
Well, Mike, first, it's great to be with you, and watching the USL getting back on the field is really a special thing. To be perfectly honest with you, it's been a collaboration across, I think, our sport in the United States. I think it's what's been really, while we've seen so many challenges with regards to COVID, one of the really good things is seeing, all of the leagues come together, from USL to CONCACAF to NWSL to MLS to NISA, all of us really banding together as a single sport to find a pathway that is first and foremost healthy, and putting our players and all of the staff, coaches, announcers, referees, a top priority. And then subsequent to that was looking at our youth game, that we as a federation, can we create a very responsible guideline that really resonates across the sport.
It is halftime between Miami and Tampa Bay. 1-0 to the Rowdies at the break. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy time for the USL Championship during the return to play. Let's take a look at some news and notes from around the USL Championship. Lou City, boy, they just keep getting bigger and bigger in that city. New training ground that they have broken ground on, Devin.
Hoping that Jason Johnson, their new acquisition, can have a little fun at the training ground. It's the continued exploration of soccer in the United States. It needs to happen more regularly around the league, and it's great to see once again. Rumor has it that there are bribes being accepted to get your own little locker room place at the training facility.
No way.
I may have received a text or two. I'm not sure exactly.
I know
possible.
You and John Hackworth are pretty close, so I don't know.
I'm not saying it was from Hack. I am saying that it was from someone in the organization, though.
All right. Well, Marlon LeBlanc getting his first win as the head coach for Philadelphia Union 2. And, of course, vote for the July Player of the Month at USLChampionship.com. Get that in by noon on Monday. Tomorrow, another busy slate across the USL Championship. I have my eyes on that Lou City Indy 11 game, but some tasty fixtures tomorrow.
How can you not? Lipa FC, still my favorite derby rivalry matchup there is. Louisville, Indianapolis, Proximity Association football contest. Go figure. Riverhounds, Red Bull 2. Wolniak will not be happy with the way that they closed that game out against Philadelphia Union 2. They were a better team, couldn't score, couldn't keep balls at the back of the net. Even your goalkeeper just gave it flatly away. And Bob Lilly, Raymond Lee back with the squad. Nice to see them. They've added a bit more depth.
He is an interesting acquisition for them. As we take a look at the Group H standings, Charleston Battery holding on to that second spot. How do you see this group shaping out, though?
If you had asked me to pick at the beginning of the year, I still would have picked the Miami FC and Tampa Bay Rowdies. If you ask me to pick right now, to be honest, I'm still going to pick the Miami FC and Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Wow.
What I've seen out of Atlanta United 2 and Charleston Battery has not been great. And though the Miami FC have been poor in their first 2 matches, what you just saw in 45 minutes, minus some shakeups on the back line, has been much better. They will continue to get better. The big question mark is going to be, what do you do with those extra games? Can you get those points when your back's up against the wall? That's going to be the issue.
Points are on the board for the teams above, and Miami, they have to do that in the next few games. It's halftime here in Miami. It's 1-0 to the Rowdies. Coming right back with the second half and highlights right after this.
But now, to move forward, to start running again, we have to change. We need to learn to be smarter and lighter, to reach each other in the distance. We will move, run, and ride. But we need to decide how. Because our choices can change everything. We are choosing a new era.
I want to invite all the youth players in Miami to join our academy, to come out and have the opportunity in the future to possibly train with the first team, and more importantly, be coached by some of us first team coaches and some of us players. Miami FC is the only professional team in town that offers you the opportunity to be connected to a professional organization and offers you the best value in town. So remember, to register, you can go to miamifc.com. Go ahead, register, and we'll contact you with future dates. We wish everyone health and safety.
Getting set for the second half. It's 1-0 to the Rowdies through Sebastian Guenzati. Let's show you how it went down in that first 45 minutes. Some first half highlights. And it was a good first half for Miami FC. They don't have that opening goal here in the 10th minute. It was an opportunity, though, for Miami going forward.
Vincent Bezecourt very active, and we said that they weren't playing a system up top that would allow an out-and-out number 9, but it did give you the freedom to explore that front with 3 or 4 options. Miguel Gonzalez, Bezecourt, and Seba on the right wing were doing a good job of getting in the attacking role. Having a little trouble playing out of the back line, but we'll get to that in a second. After their 5th, yes, you heard that, 5th corner in a row, you finally get an opportunity. And Othello Ball coming off the back line. 28th minute, you would get something similar out of Vincent Bezecourt. Again, the rotation going forward for Miami FC has been much better in this game. Don't have anything to show for it, but watch them stretch this. That's your right back in Marco Franco. Watch the back post run by Bezecourt. Good first touch. Hit this. Got to put it on frame. You have to hit the 8x8 in this situation.
Bezecourt has kind of been floating around the top, and in the 38th minute, it was the goal.
There's the challenge. Your center back, Forrest Lasso, and then you go to work. Well done by Kyle Murphy. He's not going to get the assist in the books, but the shoulder challenge on the 50-50 allows this play to open up, and I have all sorts of issues with what goes on here after it. Marco Franco, Lance Rosemond should have done much better. The back line of Miami FC defensively got them in so much trouble in the first half. To be fair, they're probably lucky it's 1-0.
Look at the halftime stats. The shots, there haven't been many of them, but one of them has gone in for Tampa Bay.
The luck, not only is it from the fact that they weren't able to put more in the back of the net for the Rowdies, it is on the side of Miami FC and the fact that you don't have Dumbuya start for the Rowdies because he's injured, and then Fernandez goes off. That puts a lot more pressure on the attacking front going forward for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They're able to get a goal, but I still liked what I've seen out of Miami FC going forward. Miguel Gonzalez, Bezecourt, Velasquez, understand that you need to continue to give them opportunities. To be fair, in the middle, I'd also like to see a bit more out of Harrison Heath. He was great on the ball. I just want more of him. He was more attack-minded in the game against Atlanta United too. I think Brian James has been a good compliment to him, and Granito has kind of faded in and out. But as clinical as Harrison Heath can be on the ball, allow him to progress with this game going forward a bit more. He'll open up some chances for you.
Both teams back out on the field, getting set for this second half. It's Tampa Bay trying to stay unbeaten this year, 3-0-2. And Miami FC looking for their first points of the season. And he is a man right there, Romario Williams, who might help them. And it looks like he is getting set to come on here in this second half. Couple of halftime substitutions for Nelson Vargas and Miami FC. It'll be Romario Williams and Prince Saidi coming on. Velasquez and Gonzalez will make way. 2 subs used here for Miami FC does not count as a substitution window since it is a halftime substitution. So Romario Williams comes on. 2 goals already this season for the Jamaican in his first year here in Miami. See the intent of these substitutions from Nelson Vargas as we get this second half underway. The teams will switch ends. Tampa Bay now going right to left, Miami left to right. And the 1 goal is the difference so far when Zadi got him going in the first half. And we'll see if Romario Williams can help Miami out here in this second half.
Substitutions for Miami.
Guanzati. We said in that first half there wasn't really a point man up top for Miami, but now with Saidi and Romario Williams on, I feel like you have a few more established strikers or attackers here.
You get Miami. It, yeah, you definitely get it for sure, Josh. And the key thing to look at is, that'll make you think is, okay, well, did Seba need to come off? And basically what it comes down to is, you're going tit for tat. Do I keep Bezecourt or do I keep Sebastian Velasquez? Bezecourt was better in the opening half, and I understand that. I have no problem with the change. The difference is Bezecourt will now move out to the wing, of course. Romario Williams will go up top to be that impact player. Gives you a bit more of an option in terms of hold-up play, but also the speed that he possesses to attack the back 3. Saidi on the left, fresh legs. Had no problem with Miguel Gonzalez. Just think that Nelson Vargas was asking more out of him. You saw more out of Othello Ba progressing forward. Didn't necessarily see a lot of combination play on the left-hand side. Everything gravitated towards the right.
Heath gets taken down by Hilton.
It's a good shout from the manager, letting you know how he feels. Nelson Vargas saying very politely, we're watching them win every ball, referencing the Rowdies and the intent they have coming out of the dressing room. Nice to be sitting on that 1-0 lead. They won't back down from it just yet.
Not many positives of playing with no fans, but that is one of them. You can hear what the managers are saying, the coaches in the technical area, as Romario Williams wins Miami a corner.
Sometimes we maybe don't necessarily have the PG-13 label associated with what comes out of their mouths.
Of course, and we apologize beforehand. Another in-swinger right into the middle. There was not a blue jersey in the area. Here's Bezecourt. Goes down. Elvis Osmanovic, the referee, says play on. Massa will collect this in the back. Out for another goal kick. Evan Loro in between the pipes tonight for Tampa Bay. New goalkeeper, his first season in St. Pete.
There's two challenges back-to-back that could have easily been whistled. Second one on Kyle Murphy. Still trying to get used to seeing Lewis Hilton in the Rowdies jersey. St. Louis FC for so many years. Charlotte before that. It's a nice pickup for Neil Collins to have. Very consistent on the ball. Deadly from set pieces. The defensive shape has a bit of issues for them trying to get forward with their midfield three.
A lot of new acquisitions for this Tampa Bay side. Back centrally. Bezecourt, pounded by Guillen. Does find an outlet. Williams calling for it here. Saidi. His cross. Looks like it stays in. Moro, a good hustle play to prevent the corner. Here's Franco coming through the middle. Williams lets it run through. Now Loro under some pressure, just has to get rid of it. To the end line again. Williams just a little bit behind his run there at the top of the six. And now some room right in the middle for Tampa. And for Lakowecki. A foul here on the near side. Miami not a fan of it. Bezecourt committing the foul. And Williams, a pretty heavy challenge.
Making friends quickly here in the second half.
It's like in football. When you get into the game, you always need a big hit to start you off, right?
Yeah. Tell that to Elvis Osmanovic, our head referee. Having words with Romario Williams tracking back. A little whack on the left side. How do you do?
Just saying, I am now here. There's Lakowecki. Now for Hilton. A two-hand push in the back. A rise smile from Heath. Neil Collins said before this game, we want to implement our system rather than react to what Miami is doing. Do you feel like that has played out so far?
No. The problem is their system's been put on hold because their starters and the wingbacks are out. Dalgard's pin backed right now with Saidi, as well as Gonzalez in the first half. It's of course on the right and left sides respectively. Max Lakowecki.
All played in behind. Franco couldn't quite get there before Loro.
A couple touches here and there, but you haven't really seen him get into an attacking role or really run at him. That's stark contrast, of course, to what Leo Fernandez is capable of. And here's the thing, it's easy for me to pick on them, but as I mentioned, now the workload just has to be shared somewhere else. They were fortunate that they're able to get the goal. They had 2 chances overall. So you finish 1. The efficiency's there, converting at a 50% rate, quality. But can you look back in that opening first half and say Kyle Murphy and Guenzati were that much better than everybody else?
Here's Hilton coming forward. He sends a curler towards goal, and Pace just does the safe thing and knocks it out of play. It's a corner kick for Tampa Bay.
The answer is no, Josh, in part because of players like Lewis Hilton, Oduro, and Doherty, specifically Doherty and Hilton on the backside. When they're stepping up, or lack thereof, they're not creating enough chances for those guys up top. They're lacking the overall presence in midfield. They need more steps like this from Lewis Hilton. Again, Lance Roosroom, you're going to give him all that room to run at you? That's a holding midfielder challenging one of your center backs 22 yards from goal with a boatload of space behind. You have the help. Do not be afraid to step him down into the corner or step and pressure him at all.
The Englishman whips it in towards the back post. A big punch from Pace. And out for a throw-in. Pace has been beaten once, but it's been called into action a few more times than that.
That's nothing against Lewis Hilton, by the way. We know that he can strike a ball, but when you look at what he's done over the course of his career, you know, you're looking at 14 goals over 5 years. I'm not exactly worried about him running at me in a one-on-one situation. He's more of a facilitator in the midfield. That's where you pick and choose your battles.
Guenzati. Doherty playing in tight space over there on the right. Getting it back on his left foot, right at Pace. Two-handed catch. Long diagonal ball, looking for Saidi. Here's Saidi all the way to that end line, and it does go out for a goal kick. Scarlett's been pretty good tonight. One of those 3 center backs for the Rowdies. Becoming a regular for Neil Collins. Laurel will just send this deep. And out for a throw-in. Well, a new signing. We've talked about a lot of new signings for Tampa Bay. Adam Najum getting picked up here for Tampa Bay this week. Not in the 18 tonight. His first training session was on Wednesday. But he can be a big pickup for Neil Collins and the Rowdies.
It's a pretty good look at what they're missing right now. Look at about a 20 to 25 yard gap that was right around the center circle. The presence of your attacking midfielder has to be filled in terms of voids. It was Andrew Tenari prior to his departure to New Mexico United. But if you look, you're getting glimpses, right, in the second half out of Hilton and Doherty, which is much better than what we saw in the opening 45 minutes. Damodoro, of course, is going to sit as your holding midfielder role, but just behind the referee. Need to find someone to tuck in that space. That allows you to get Kyle Murphy and Guenzati up top, playing the two-man game. Instead, what you're getting is Guenzati and Murphy dropping back in, and you're removing one of your strikers. So it eliminates one of those attacking options up front. You stick Adam Najum in there, very creative midfielder. He also works different on the defensive side of the ball. He knows the shape and what's asked of him. He's willing to step outside on the wing, and he gives you that luxury. You start running downhill, he's gonna chase. He'll put 3 and 4 numbers up top and allow you to have a bit more fun in the final third.
Quick stint in Poland for Najum, but last couple years with Memphis and Philadelphia Union too. His brother David played with the Rowdies, of course, the last couple of years. Golazo on that far side, still looking for a Golazo for this Miami team. Credit this Tampa Bay back line, they've been quite stout. foul against Murphy. Griffiths finds himself down on the turf. 4 subs still available for Tampa Bay, 3 for Miami, and all 3 substitution windows for Miami as well. Just 2 left for Tampa Bay after the first half substitution of Leo Fernandez. Granito. Roseboom. Patient play from Miami. Played down the line for Saidi. Out of the way by Lasso. Pesacourt will keep possession, at least in the meantime, and there's a free kick. Lewis Hilton, the guilty party.
Have some fun from here. Lewis Hilton gets his boys into trouble. 30 minutes to go. Some possible fireworks. And the chances have been, say, secondary. What's been going on in the build-up play for Miami FC here in the second half compared to the first. There's our boy, Harrison Heath, asked for more out of him. He's got the distance in him for sure. He can ping it. Look at the positioning by Evan Lauro, going real central. Large wall in front of him, going to be difficult to see. 4 all in total, but look at the players left and right, a lot of space.
Here's Heath, sending it on frame. Oh, it was a good save by Lauro. Keeping the clean sheet just past the hour mark.
Told you he could hit him. He can hit him, but how about Evan Lauro? Up over the top of the wall in traffic. This thing's got everything but the finishing touch. Glory in the upper corner. Evan Lauro has other ideas, though.
It's another corner kick coming here for Miami as they are starting to mount. Ripped in, right into the side netting. And a goal kick. It looks like we will get those subs right now for Tampa Bay. Kyle Murphy along with Sebastian Dalgard will come off. Juan Tejada, Malik Johnson will come on, and Dalgard doesn't like it. He's gonna have to go off at the closest point, one of those new IFAB rules. Malik Johnson will come on for him.
Not the best performance by Sebastian Dalgard. He will take a seat, and it's unfortunate. Great opportunity with Tambuya being out for him to step in and possibly make that position his own. Did wondrous things for Hartford Athletic last year. One of the spotlights that didn't shine very bright for the team, probably overshadowed by their overall performances. Good stuff with St. Louis FC in the past as well, but bringing this change on. It's a like for like on the right side, but with Juan Tejada, great partnership with he and Guenzati, and he'll also pinch a bit more left. He's more comfortable shifting out to the exterior when he's being asked to play in the striker's role next to Guenzati. He can pinch out to the left-hand side. That takes some of the pressure off Lakawecki, and it also continues to stretch that back 4 of the Miami FC. Opens up space for the likes of Hilton to step in through the middle.
Flicked along by Tejada, one of his first touches on. Lakawecki, back for Tejada. Looking for an outlet. Sending it back into the middle. Now Now a chance for Miami to run, but Williams collided with a player there in the middle, and the referee will stop play. Was lassoed down. And it looks like the referee going to his pocket here, and a yellow card to Williams. It looked like Miami was off to the races there, and all of a sudden, it's a yellow card for Williams.
And the argument from Lance Rosebroom, number one is on the challenge, number two is on the counterattack, especially because the center back from the Rowdies had stepped all the way up front. Forrest Lasso, not often he gets caught out. Just watch the follow through on the challenge here. Mario Williams understands the pressure's coming. I tell you, I have a problem with this because the boot comes studs up from Forrest Lasso coming through on who has the better ground here in Romario Williams. The overstretched boot on Forrest Lasso is the one that gets himself into trouble. And that's the argument here coming from Romario Williams. He's got the high ground, has the ability to play. The defender steps in, overstretched boot here. The angle for the referee is off, and Harrison Heath making the same argument. How can you stop it, go the other way, and how can you give our guy a card? Alvis Osmanovic felt like he saw something different.
Nonetheless, a yellow card for Romario Williams. And a free kick here for Tampa Bay. So maybe trying to get Juan Tejada involved as he comes on. A nice quote from Neil Collins in a story in the Tampa Bay Times. When I say no one thinks higher of him, it's because I've got real high hopes from him. He could be a special, special player. Shot coming on and just wide. Out for a goal kick. No goals so far this year for Juan Tejada, but he scored 10 in his first season with Tampa Bay, and he could be a really nice piece for this Rowdies side.
The former Fighting Triton of Eckerd College. There's the same alma mater as my brother. Jim DeNoble built that program from the ground up. Longtime running coach who has now moved on to youth academy in the area. I'm getting word that it looks like Mo Chow is ripe and ready to go from the sideline to make his appearance for Miami FC.
Is Mo Chow, who will come on. A goal to his name this season. His second year here with Miami. Spent the latter years in college at Louisville. So that's the first substitution window used by Miami.
Watch the musical chairs that start to take place here for Miami FC. Mo Chow. Envisionment of Nelson Vargas is going to be to supplement the attack up top and help out. Moving him all the way over to the right-hand side, which means Bezecourt is going to shift here. He comes into the middle. And you move Mascarenito just over a little bit.
Tampa Bay forward, weaving through defenders and keeping possession. Across, it was blocked, and it's out for a corner.
And the biggest change will come in the likes of Brian James, who's done well for himself in the midfield. He's now going to help out this back line, and he'll assume the role that Thelobah did at that left back spot. Makeshift, as you've got two of your holding midfielders now involved in that back line. More than capable Brian James. Just a different shape that this team has to assume. Goal hunting, 23 minutes to go.
And it will be Lewis Hilton to stand over the corner kick again. Driven in low. It looked like Tejada maybe got a touch on it. Was sent up and over for a goal kick.
This is what we've seen out of the Rowdies so far yet. Not just earlier this year, the resumption of play, it's good, not great, right? The ideas are there. you have to go back to the fact that they have neither one of their starting wingers. And I know we brought it up a few times, but you have to understand that the system that Neil Collins has in place is very difficult when you don't have that regular presence. Having guys that can step in on the training ground is one thing to fill that gap. 90-minute performance on the road. All the variables at play right now with what's going on in the world. Isolation, of course. He's got a lot to think about. He's hoping Malik Johnson can step in here. Still looking for the midfield to produce a bit more here. We've seen Doherty starting to move his role a bit higher, and Lewis Hilton next to him.
Pace got a touch on that. I'm not sure why he was diving there, but it's out for a corner kick.
I could have got up off the desk, run down onto the field, and still not to be able to get to this. He would have been just fine. Of course, as a goalkeeper, better safe than sorry.
Now it's another corner kick for Lewis Hilton. Another in-swinger. Right at pace, got a punch to it. Chance maybe for Miami to run. Somebody running right down the middle of the field, and Mo Chow just couldn't quite get him all the way there. And now another player down for Tampa Bay, and Miami be a little displeased that play is stopped again.
It's twice in the span of 6 minutes. The first one I have a problem with. This one I don't. Anytime it comes to a head injury, Josh, I'm all for the stoppage of play.
Totally.
The frustration was that back post run. Hard to see with all the bodies in the way. It looked like Vincent Bezecourt had sprung himself free. Just loads of space to work with, and Miami FC still looking to go quick in transition. Have not been able to put those pieces together just yet.
Neil Collins talking with his side, trying to preserve this 1-0 advantage in the last 20 minutes. This hydration break is brought to you by Helbiz and your Miami FC mascot, Golazo, and he's still riding around on his scooter, Devin.
Look at him. Oh, this is the wave. Golazo style. Like the colors, like the execution. He's got quality wingspan there. Why isn't he up top flying right now?
He needs a goal to celebrate, because Tampa Bay had a goal in the first half to celebrate in the 38th minute. Sebastian Guenzati getting his 4th goal of the season.
A lot of credit to Leo Fernandez, Dambuya, some of the boys in the midfield so far. Forrest Lasso, big signee in the offseason. Great challenge on the back. Little love in the midfield. And then we go the other direction. It's Kyle Murphy, shoulder to shoulder. Get Guenzati out in the open. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster if you're Miami FC. You give him the tiniest of windows, he will always make you pay. Simple scouting report figures that one out. Guenzati gets his 4th of the year. Got that math right.
Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, you always point out the bad ones, never the good.
It's true, and it's okay. He scored 19 goals last year, though. He's on a good pace this year again as well, Guenzati. Looks like a drop ball will get us restarted. A long switch of play. Not able to keep it in over there is Zaidi. This Tampa back line has been very stout once again tonight. They've only given up about 9.2 shots per game this entire season on average, and about 2 shots on goal per game on average as well. We've kind of seen that tonight. There haven't been too many opportunities aside from corner kicks for Miami. Franco. Get by Lakowecki, cross coming in. Open in the middle, the shot, oh, and it's just high. It was right there for Williams, and he couldn't put it on frame.
The marksman, that is Romario Williams. How does this end up over the top of the bar? Shocked that he doesn't take this first time. Watch the vision here. Marco Franco, nice little cutback. This long ball up over the top has to be a one-on-one situation. As a defender, every single time he is going to put you to the byline or cut it back. So you know that you've got to do your best to stand him up. Well done by Franco. And truly astonished, Josh, that he doesn't put this on frame, either from his first effort or the fact that he's able to bring this down, have a cup of tea, and still not put it on the 8x8.
That could be an opportunity we look back on at the end of this match, saying that was the big opportunity for Miami, but still about 16 minutes plus stoppage time to fix that. Granito. Franco over the top as Granito continued his run, and stepping in was Lasso to just knock that away at the last possible moment. It's another Miami corner.
It's a communication that was lacking in the first half for the home squad. Well done here by Forrest Lasso. Recognizes left side started to break down. That's the IQ that we talked about of this back three, Josh. Understands where the danger is coming from. Last-ditch effort, and just sticks it over the end line.
8th corner, swung in. Cleared away once again. Flipped in again. A little bit too high for Mo Chow, and a big collision there as Loro made the catch. It is Forrest Lasso who is down. It looks like Chow is going into the book, a yellow card for 28 in blue and white.
There's not many that are willing to challenge him, and how about the little flex at the end by Forrest Lasso? No Chow willing to. Trying to spark this team some life, 15 to go.
You feel like they're just right there. They are so close, and yet just that final product has not been there.
It's changing though, isn't it? A lot more combination play in the first half. Now they've gone quite linear in their thinking. There's nothing wrong with it. Long balls over the top, trying to stretch this game, open it up a little bit. Still asking more out of the midfield. I want to see Harrison Heath on the ball. I think he's been fantastic with their distribution. Just haven't been able to get him to where he can step forward a bit more. He's in such a deep lying role this evening in that midfield, and I understand it. Bezecourt, Granito, the way that the night has worked out are the ones that are in front of him. Was just beyond pressed by his performance at Atlanta United too. That's why I'm asking to see, maybe you see a little rotation in that three. Especially with Granito not exactly making that stretch either. We've seen it at a Bezecourt, but look at all the space right now. One little step, Granito comes all the way to the outside, and you get that luxury when you have such attack-minded outside backs in the system where you're trying to push James, trying to push Marco Franco. But when you haven't exactly had the success out of a playmaking role, why not allow somebody else to step into it? Of course, then again, those are big shoes to fill the second that Harrison Heath departs the midfield. Does such a good job at holding lines together.
Looking for the run of Tejada, a little bit too strong. There's another whistle. This one against Romario Williams. Maybe a sense of frustration setting in. Still plenty of time to find that equalizer for Miami. Let this open up for Tampa Bay. The cross, looking for Lakowecki, wasn't quite wide enough. And out for a throw-in.
That's great pressure by Aaron Guillen. You're in a win-win no matter what. Even if they call the foul, you slow up play, condense the field, regroup defensively, and regain your shape. And you don't allow Miami FC to get this out in front of them. They have been at their best in the open transitional period so far. Just try and limit it as a defender if you get the opportunity to do so. Aaron Guillen does.
Granito. Bezecourt. Yellow jerseys just converging on Bezecourt. See the pressure ratcheting up. A really good touch from Tejada to get free. Here's Tejada, still coming forward. The cross into the middle, knocked away. The throw in for Tampa.
All of that starts, by the way, from Damodaro, Josh. His ability, drop the shoulder on the left, come all the way back to the right, and then bring it to the left-hand side. Excellent recognition by their holding midfielder, feels the presence, and that's something you can't always teach. He's been the ever steady for Amir Collins in the center of that midfield quite some time now. Brand new baby, couple health concerns last season, and now he's right back at it.
Guillen commits the foul in the middle again. Ten minutes to go, and Miami's still looking for that opening tally.
Here's a good look at the press we talked about from Jordan Doherty, almost combining a bit of a triangle, getting next to Guenzati, underneath Juan Tejada. So he steps up, provides a little pressure. If they try and play around him, then he just drops back into the midfield. Lewis Hilton can slide over. Damodaro gets involved. That's why you're seeing, good or bad, a lot more long balls out of Miami FC just like that.
Saidi. Blocked down. For another cross, never made it in the box. Franco, long range effort is blocked and he goes straight down. He's stretching himself out. Of course, a warm night here in Miami. Chow trying to play it down the line and just not on the same page. There's Bezecourt. Centrally, it was laid off very well there for Bezecourt. Cleared away again. Miami continuing to probe this back line. Franco gets some space. Looked like Laura was going to make the catch. Instead, it's knocked back into the middle. And allows Miami to keep possession. Sent in again, looking for Williams. Lasso got his head to it. A long spell of possession in the final third here for Miami. Granito puts it in again. Too far for Chow. This might Spring Tejada free, pace way off his line, and Cooley finds Granito. Laid down the left. Saidi. Cross. Switch of play for Franco. Towards the back post and out for a goal kick. That was long, sustained possession there for Miami, but nothing to show for it.
And they are going to pull Marco Franco off. Brian James to the right side. Janusz Luba. Another Red Bull product will go to the left side. You do get the consistency of Brian James, who also understands that familiarity of that role. And then combine Prince Saidi, Janusz Luba, if possible, a bit more with just, what, 5 minutes to go now.
Comes Doherty. Can Tampa put this game to bed? Getting all the way in. He's still going. He's going for goal, and it's in. How about that from Malik Johnson? 2-0. And that might be all she wrote tonight in Miami.
No Dumbuya. Leo Fernandez exits in the 19th minute of this match. Can you find a way to use the exterior of this field to your advantage? It's taken quite some time for Malik Johnson to get involved. One-on-one, there's your substitute. The back line for Miami FC have done some horrendous things to put their teams in bad situation tonight. Same situation, well done by Malik Johnson. I'm not taking anything away from the finish. But a cold, flat-footed Janusz Luba gets turned around, and the Rowdies are headed in the right direction.
And a couple of subs now coming on as Malik Johnson gets his second goal of the season, the 22-year-old from Toronto. He's almost matched his goal total from last year. He scored 3 in 23 appearances. Zimko Sana comes on. Sana will come on for Guenzani. The goal scorer does come off. And Zach Steinberger, also the other one to come off. Or, pardon me, come on while Doherty makes way.
Didn't know that he could come off if he hadn't come on yet. That's a new rule change that you didn't make me aware of.
You know, I'm not good with the subs. You're not good with the numbers. We're all going to get there at some point.
We've all got an Achilles heel, Josh. It's okay.
Now with the 5 subs, it's almost a half a team that's coming on. And Neil Collins has used all 5 substitutions.
Out number 22, Jordan Doherty, and number 13, Sebastian Westy, and number 8, Zachary Steinberger. And number 77,
Saidi, can Miami bring one back here? Nice little nutmeg, and then a corner kick.
Last-ditch effort. Heck of a shift put on the back line for Aaron Guillen, Jordan Scarlett, Forrest Lasso. They have been all over. Bit of work to be done yet, though. Lance Roseboom has made his way up. Mo Chow can throw his name into the hat. Granito just lurking on the back post run. Saidi just right in front of Evan Loro. Haven't been good enough from these. Got to find a way to be better.
The 9th corner. The whistle before it even got there. puts this back into play. As we take a look at the Group H standings, this would move Tampa Bay 7 points clear of Charleston in second place.
Oof.
That's a big number. It will be Charleston taking on Charlotte tomorrow. Those cross-group matchups. Atlanta United 2 head to Birmingham. So a couple of tough matchups for the teams right below Tampa Bay, and they could really start to feel comfortable in first place.
That Battery Independence game, part of the triangle. You get North Carolina FC involved. I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to say, I'll phrase it this way instead. Don't sleep on Atlanta United 2. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, though, they're a thorn. Right? They're always there. They're never out of a match. Sometimes they're never in a match, but they're always right there to push you. Ask Miami FC, right?
Absolutely.
Some of their results recently, what they've been able to do, what they did last year. The big key for me is, can they be led by their coach now, academy director stepping in, Stephen Glass, former 2 coach, interim for Atlanta United. That departure can be an issue, although they do play a lot of academy players, so that transition could be a bit more seamless.
Free kick here for Tampa.
Damodoro, just go stand next to him. Just 5 minutes extra time, just touch it to him, let's keep it. Play keep away.
Free kick, sent in, headed on, and just wide. Like Impulsana got his head to it. Stoppage time is presented by Miami FC Youth Academy. You want to join the Miami FC Youth Academy? Visit miamifc.com/academy to register to the only academy in Miami connected to a local professional team. Ian plays it back. Should also mention USL back on ESPN Deportes tomorrow. Memphis and North Carolina. Romario Williams. Did that take a deflection? It did not. And it's out for a goal kick.
Frustration by the striker starting to come to light in Romario Williams. Got shut down on the left, pulls it back to the right. You don't get enough looks at goal, you start hunting yourself. Imagine Nelson Vargas probably agreeing, penny for a thought in his mind right now, and how he gets this on track. You don't want to say back on track, because to be fair, you haven't had a result yet. This is a better stepping stone for the home squad moving forward. But again, they don't have a lot of time. Crazy to think that their next opponent, it's 9 days away. They get to go to Al Lang and have a little fun with the Rowdies once again. So now you're asking them, after losing their first 3, to go on the road to a team they just lost to. Saving grace is, you get to see them in person, understand where some of those tendencies on tape start to take shape in real life. Take a look at your own mistakes. Where can we better ourselves? I promise you there are plenty.
This ball is played in a wide position, deflecting out for a corner kick. Tampa Bay will be on a short week, though. They play Atlanta United 2 on the road in the midweek for that game next Sunday. I don't want to sound like a pessimist either, but when you look at Inter Miami, Fort Lauderdale CF, and Miami FC, 0 points in MLS, USL Championship, USL League One. Here at the start of this 2020 season. Ball whipped in, headed on, Tejada scores! 3-0, and the young Panamanian gets on the score sheet for the first time here in 2020.
He's a pest, and I mean that and the highest of praise. He is always where he needs to be and never, as a defender, where you want him to be, challenging you left and right. Their analyst for the Tampa Bay Rowdies says it best. The fox in the box, always lurking, moving around, small in stature at 5'7", but check this out. The quick little check to the near post, flick to the back, and he's off and running once again. Great to see him open his 2020 campaign.
He had 10 goals last year, his first here tonight. Collins speaking very high of young Juan Tejada. You speak to so many fans and they all love Juan Tejada. What's not to like?
It's a fantastic finish, but here's my issue. 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 6 foot. I'm referencing 4 out of the 6. That should be your defensive markers back there right now, and nobody steps to the ball. That's nothing against Tejada. It's a great move, nice little stunt to the near post, great in transition in space, but why is no one getting a body on him, A? And B, how is nobody challenging that ball in the air?
Well, there's the final whistle. Tampa Bay Rowdies, they win the first edition of this Sunshine State Showdown. When Zadi gets the first goal, Miami still pointless in 2020, while the Rowdies, they are at the top of Group H, still undefeated. And they are looking really, really good so far this year, the Rowdies. So that does it tonight here from Ricardo Silva Stadium. We'll come back to wrap things up with highlights and stats, but for now, it finishes the Miami FC 0, Tampa Bay Rowdies 3. We'll be right back here to Ricardo Silva Stadium.
This is a football city. From the grassroots to the turf. From the streets to the cleats. We are proud to represent this city. We are proud to represent Miami. We are proud to represent you. Your community, your club.
Back here to wrap things up from Ricardo Silva Stadium. It'll be a happy bus ride home for the Rowdies, whatever route they go. Devin, I don't know, we talked about directions in the first half, but nonetheless, a good 3 points for the Rowdies and 3 goals. We take a look at the full-time highlights presented by Miami FC Youth Academy. Start in the 28th minute. It was a good opportunity here for Miami FC.
Good night for Vincent Bezecourt, and watch him just trailing in the midfield, tracking all the way to the back post. Domodoro doesn't catch the flat run. Jordan Scarlett doesn't see it either. To be fair, he's 2v1. He's got to pick the closer runner, and I respect that. I would have done the same. Bezecourt opens up in the back post. He can't finish to the near, and that was about it for the first half. 38th minute, step by Lasso. Challenged by Kyle Murphy. Enter Seba Guenzati. Go do your thing down in the corner. Why not? scores any which way. He'll take it any which way. Back line from Miami FC needed to be better. It wouldn't get much better. They go up 1-0. Let's go to the 61st minute in the second half. Harrison Heath had himself a night, really consistent in the midfield. There's a challenge on Bezecourt trying to be problematic. Well, let's go after Evan Oro. Let's go to 1-1. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Quality free kick by Heath. Upper 90, cannot do it enough. Evan Laurel, fantastic save. You're going to turn the page. Let's give yourself another opportunity to get back into this match. Great job by Franco. Watch him turn this back into the middle. Picks out the runner, Romario Williams, just sitting at the penalty mark. Surprised that he didn't go with the head. Surprised that he doesn't go with the volley. Instead, he brings it all the way down. Can do anything with it that he wants. Instead, puts it up over the bar. Okay, 85th. Yeah, it's going to go from bad to worse for Miami FC here. Watch the space open up. Malik Johnson, got to do better here. That's your substitute, Giannis Luba, one-on-one, quick little touch inside. No step by Heath. Gets turned around, go up 2-0. Dreams turn to utter nightmare for Harrison Heath into what was going on in this match. And to add a little bit more fun at the end of this, again, I mean, just use the shoulder. Brian James struggled with the challenge by Juan Tejada. Fox in the box. Welcome to 2020 in your scoring campaign.
Let's take a look at the Group H standings. It is Tampa Bay. They are starting to separate themselves at the top. The Battery still have a chance in there, but it's Miami FC at the bottom. They still have a lot of games, but you got to get points.
The Rowdies have already lapped everybody. And think about this if you're a Miami FC fan, and some comfort for a Rowdies fan. If you're Miami FC, you could win 5 straight matches and still be only 1 point ahead of the Rowdies. That's a cause for concern. A lot to go for the rest of this. Again, 13 weeks, 16 total games, but you have got to get to work now if you want a chance.
Well, it was Tampa Bay taking round number 1 of this new rivalry in the USL Championship, a 3-0 win over Miami FC tonight. That's going to do it from Ricardo Silva Stadium. For our entire crew, my broadcast partner, Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Ricardo Silva Stadium, where it finishes Miami 0 and Tampa Bay 3.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.